All right, welcome aboard, guys. So, one of the questions I got recently when I was doing some of the guild's first Mythic Plus dungeons is how did you get so geared so quickly on this new reroll character? So I figured I'd do a really quick video here for the series to just kind of go over the gear that I have and how I got that gear and what that process was for those of you that are like following along to also level a new character with Dragonflight. So I have my Warlock here, and this is the pretty much end result of the Warlock. And here is the gear that we're essentially starting with. One of the things that I want to show you too is that not a whole lot of time has gone by. Let's see if I can move this. Edit mode, see if I can move this up for you guys. So yeah, my slash plate here, if you can see that, is 14 hours, 43 minutes, 38 seconds at level. Revert changes. So I have not been level 70 very long. A lot of that's also just kind of AFK, waiting around in town, or waiting for dungeons to form, or doing some herbalism. I've gotten a lot of herbs and stuff and trying to get my herbalism up. So how did I get to 397 in probably about 8 hours realistically played at level 70? And the key has been this kind of stuff, the Gloves of the Raging Tempest, primal infused. So when you see the Primal Empowered here, it's essentially a catch-up mechanic that's in 10.0.7 Dragonflight, where you get 385 gear that actually drops as tokens that are account bound on the Forbidden Reach. The Forbidden Reach is right here. It's this little island here, and there's a ton of quests that you can pick up, and there's rares that are on the Forbidden Reach, and you can fly around in a raid group, kill all the rares, and you get these account-bound tokens. You can also buy the tokens with this currency called Elemental Overflow, which you get very, very, very quickly on the Isle. I'm wondering if I look here if you can even find a group, pre-made group, custom, find group, rares. Let's see. Forbidden Reach rares war mode off. So right now there's a group with 15 people that are flying around killing all of these rares. And you essentially get these tokens, you turn these tokens into 385 pieces, and then you can upgrade those to 395 with a different currency that drops on the Isle. So that's how I essentially went through and I got most of these things. This is the 398 Primal Empowered necklace. And then here's the shoulders, the cloak, bracers, gloves, belt, pants. I got this out of Mythic Dungeon just because it had a lot of haste on it and it had a socket and I wanted to add a haste socket to it. This Onyx Amulet you get on the island, and you can actually upgrade this to 424. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Here's the trinket that you get. This has an upgrade level 1 of 2 because I haven't upgraded it yet. And then here's the 2 weapons that you can get. So if you get all that stuff, you'll be 395 essentially. Now I converted the 395 chest piece to one of my mythic tiers, and you can do that, and I can fly there and actually show you too. On the Dragon Isles, right here in Thaldraxxus, right here at Tier's Hold, there's a catalyst converter where you can convert your epic items to tier set pieces if you want. And I converted my chest piece over. I'm trying to convert this 415 mythic helm that I just got in my vault, but I haven't completed the quest enough yet. There's a quest here. I think it counts as Thaldraszus here. Revival Catalyst is the quest. Complete group content in the Dragon Isles. I'm currently at 60%. Once I get this to 100%, I will get a Renescent Lifeblood, and I'll be able to convert this 415 helm over to a tier piece, and that'll give me 2 set of my tier gear. So that's essentially what I've done for gear. I've done the Forbidden Reach Isle in rares. I've upgraded those to 395. I've done a couple mythic dungeons. I've gotten some vault pieces, and I've converted some pieces to tier. I got really lucky with the Rage Feather. It's one of the BIS trinkets that a Warlock can get, and I got a 398 version of it in a Mythic Plus dungeon, so that was actually really fortunate. I might use some Valor a little bit later and upgrade this. I think I have some Valor in here. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I have 2,000 Valor. I think that's the cap you can even have. So I think I'll upgrade the trinket if I can. So what I want to do is I actually want to show you guys a little bit of how that happened. Might be a little bit easier for me to actually show you than to just tell you. So let's go to the Forbidden Reach real quick. We can also go to Tearsold so I can show you the catalyst. Because I want you guys to have a good idea about how this process goes. I'd say within maybe, yeah, 8 hours of being level 70, I was almost I400. So I don't understand why there's so many people that are so undergeared, because it's just so easy. With this patch, the game essentially just throws gear at you. Now obviously this gear is going to become quite underpowered here shortly with the release of the new patch. So this is Morcut Village on the Forbidden Reach. I'm going to go ahead and fly there. While I'm flying, I'll show you guys, yeah, here, Mythic Dungeons. So these are the dungeons I've done so far. I've done a 15 Shadow Moon, 15 Azure Vault, 15 Nokun Defensive, 14 Algathar, 12 Court of Stars, 10 Hollows of Valor. I have not been able to do Ruby or Temple yet, but this is literally within hours of hitting max level. You can do a 15 of pretty much every dungeon. You should be able to do Keystone Master, I'd say, in less than 24 hours or so after hitting level 70. And remember, this is a character that, you know, was level 10 not long ago. Leveled up to 60, did Time Walking Dungeons to 70, and then just fully geared up to like i397 and started doing plus 15 keys. So it's very, very, very fast if you want it to be. If you know what you're doing, if you know how to use these mechanics, you can gear super, super quickly. There's not a whole lot of excuse, especially this late in the tier, to not be able to get Mythic Keystone Master. I don't know if I'll finish it. I'll try. But the 15s are so easy right now. They're pretty much free to do. We did some 16s. I think we did a 17. I just don't think we timed it. I think our 16 we were off by about 2 minutes or so. But yeah, the dungeons are very easy when you have this kind of gear going into them. So let's fly to the Reach and see. I might even join one of those rare farming groups just to demonstrate for you how easy it is, just in case you're still confused as to how that works. This is also not a great time. It is Tuesday. It's just after reset. It's about 4 in the afternoon. It's not peak time. You know, around 10 p.m. server time, you'd probably get a lot more activity, a lot more groups. Also, over time, as fewer and fewer people need to utilize these catch-up mechanics for their alts, you might find fewer people running this content. So if you're watching this video a year from now, right, might be harder for you to find groups for farming these rares. But maybe a year from now there'll be a different catch-up mechanic that's better than this one. So this is time sensitive, right? Right now we're in April 2023, so if you're watching this video at some significantly different time, this might no longer be the most effective way to catch up alts, you know? So I'm showing you what the process is for now. In the future, who knows? Okay. So let's go ahead and maybe join one of these groups. Let's refresh it. War mode off. Yeah, let's sign up for this. See if they accept us. They may or may not. This is... yeah, they did accept us. This right here, my Threestra, is the vendor where you can buy every piece of gear for very, very little elemental. As you can see, I have 34,000. And these only cost 350 a piece. So you buy these sets, and then essentially what you do is you upgrade this. You buy this. Here, I'll just buy one to show you. I'll buy this wrist. Okay, you have the wrist. You come over here to researcher Bane Flare. Just lusted me. You take this wrist, right, and you can upgrade it to 385 by only using 5 storm sigils. I have 35. They drop very frequently here on the Isle. And then you'll have a 385 piece of gear, and then you can upgrade that once more with a different material.
It is a world of
You can
wonder.
also just find these items. So let's go ahead and see where everybody is. Everyone's at this Valtrax rare. I don't know if I'm going to get there fast enough, but we can try it. I'm just going to dump all my vigor, try to get there as soon as we can. Alright, let's kill this rare. He's almost dead anyway. Let's just drain some soul. Cast a raptor. Some more drain soul. Cast a rapture. We'll just drain him out. I won't even reset him. Bounce on it. And now we loot him. So we got an untapped forbidden knowledge, we got one of those storm sigils I was just telling you about, and we got a vault key, which is for something here on the house. Let's go with these guys to one more rare, just so you can see the process. Looks like we're probably going up here to Warp Slayer. I am out of... This is a great amount of vigor. I need to get up enough speed to generate some vigor. I'm just going to do some circles here and generate some vigor, so that I can hopefully get up to Wormslayer up there. I hate the dragon riding mechanic. There we go. Alright. We'll see if that's enough. Rapture window. This is not a tutorial on how to play Affliction. I'm just giving you a window. Try to get a breath again. Look at that, 38k DPS. It's top in the raid, and I just hit 70 a moment ago, and I really don't have that high vi level. So, anyway, this, guys, is how you kill these rares. I didn't get any pieces there. I just got another key. Maybe we'll fly to the next one. I'll do one more for you. I'd like to see if I can get a token, just to show you guys what the account-bound gear tokens look like. But you can just do this. You can do this for hours. You can spend 4 hours on the Isle just flying around, killing these rares in a group. As you can see, they're very easy to kill because you're pretty much depending on the rest of the raid to kill them for you. Even if you're doing very little damage and doing very little gear, it's not hard to do these. Next 7 seconds on Dark Flare, I'll probably help with those. I'll do a baby raptor. It's gonna hurt my significantly that I didn't find my Dark Flare with my Warlock and Sora. how fast this is, guys. There you go. So I did get a piece of leather. This is what I want to show you right here. Primalist leather gloves. Now you can get them for every type of gear. You can get them for cloth, you can get them for leather, mail, or plate. Essentially, if you're doing a warlock like me, you'd want cloth versions. If you're doing a paladin, you're going to want plate versions, whatever. But this is what drops right here, these account-bound tokens. And then essentially you open them and you get a piece of 385 gear. So what that does is it saves you from having to use your elemental overflow here in town to buy the pieces. So we'll go ahead and we'll leave party because I don't need that. So you can always buy them here. Yes, you can always buy them from, sorry, this person. If you wanted to. If you're getting unlucky, like say you're just getting a bunch of leather, you're getting a bunch of plate, and you're looking for cloth, you can always just buy the tokens directly with the elemental overflow you're getting from the bosses. But if you're lucky, you'll get the epic tokens. Also, it saves you an extra step from having to upgrade the 359s to 385 and then upgrading them to 395. So let me show you what the upgrade process looks like to go from 385 to 395. You go right here to this item upgrade person. You choose the item that you want to upgrade. So in this case it would be this trinket. I want it to be 398. I'm going to use that untapped forbidden knowledge that we just picked up off of that rare, and I'm going to hit upgrade. It costs me literally nothing else. And now I'm given a 398 trinket, which is huge. It's absolutely huge. And then I have this one too. I can upgrade this one with Valor, I might do so, because this trinket's ridiculous. Yeah, I can upgrade it almost there. I need a mythic dungeon rating that's higher than my current one. Ah, okay. It's gonna stop me. Wow. It's only going to let me upgrade it to 402. Okay, well, we'll do so. I need a higher mythic dungeon rating to upgrade it anymore.
May we all find.
But yeah, now you can see we're 398, right? So we got the 398 Primal Empowered Trinket. We just upgraded our Rage Feather to 402, which is really cool. And hopefully we can upgrade it more later on. Once we get our Mythic Dungeon rating up a little bit higher, we need a couple dungeons we still need to do. Alright, let me show you the Revival Catalyst next. We have 4 minutes on Hearth, so maybe we can...
Such an unusual visitor.
Yeah, we'll do this. We'll fly to Valdraken, and then we'll just fly over. Because I want to show you guys how to convert these pieces to set gear, because these set bonuses are really, really strong for a lot of different specs. Affliction seems okay, but for a lot of specs it's a lot stronger than that. And you're going to want to do that. But pretty easy, right? You level from 1 to 70 in 10 hours, maybe less if you're really fast, if you're really good at it. You farm the Forbidden Reach rares for tokens and elemental overflow. You upgrade that to 385 and then 395. Then you start doing easy Mythic Plus dungeons, getting Valor, getting upgrades from that, and you over time convert the pieces that you either upgraded or looted into set gear. And by the time you're done, you'll be I-400 with 404 set, ready to go into the next patch, like full steam. Now obviously, people that have been playing the whole time since like Dragonflight's release, they're going to be 415, 418, 420. They're going to be significantly more geared than you. This isn't to say that you're going to become like super competitive in terms of gearing, but if you can get to I-400 with your 4-piece set bonus and maybe a good trinket or two, you will be able to apply for raiding guilds that are doing normal or probably even heroic rating for next raid tier without a problem. Are you going to be able to get into those real fancy mythic raiding guilds and CE guilds? Probably not. Mythic Plus dungeons are going to be tough for you, even with the gear, if you don't have the Mythic rating score, or if you don't know people. For example, I can go here to dungeons, find group, and I'm looking for keys, right? A lot of these are higher. Here's a plus 12. If I applied to this plus 12, I can almost guarantee you I'd be declined. Even though I have a higher score than the person who's running it, and I've completed numerous 15s and 16s on this character, I wouldn't get accepted for that plus 12, probably. A, because I'm playing Affliction, and B, because they're looking for people who are wildly overgeared. There's probably DPS that are applying that are 415. So I don't want to give you guys the impression that doing this quick catch-up gearing mechanism isn't necessarily going to put you in like a real great position to just dominate all the content in the game. But I think with 10, 12 hours of work at level 70 to be I400 with 4-piece set bonus, it's amazing. I don't think that there's been a better time in WoW than today to catch up as a new player, or maybe as someone who hasn't played in a couple expansions, or just to get an alt up. Like, this is pretty much free. It's really, really strong. Alright, so we'll get to Valdrakken here. And I'm going to use the teleporter just to get up top, just to get a little bit of altitude. And then we'll fly over to Tierhold. I'll show you the revival catalyst, and then we'll probably end the video there. And then I'll start uploading maybe some of the Mythic Plus dungeons that I'm doing. These early Mythic Plus dungeons. I did a couple, as you can see from here. I already banged out a few of the Mythic dungeons. I have a couple of these I might be able to upload, I'm not sure. And I'll show you what it looks like to do Mythics on like a brand new character that doesn't have a whole lot of it. I'm not super familiar with the Mythic dungeons for this expansion. I haven't done them a whole lot, so I'm not promising it's going to be like incredible gameplay, but... Alright, here we are. Let's go to Tierhold. So it should be right over here. I think it's up there.
Tierhold has fallen under siege. Eliminate the invading forces.
Alright, so this is the catalyst. The Revival Catalyst console. And this is where you pick up your weekly quest that I showed you earlier. You essentially put your item in here, so for me it's going to be Helm, and I'm going to turn this into Mythic Raid Tier. Guys, Mythic Raid Tier. I just leveled this character 10 to 70. I just started getting gear, and I can have Mythic Raid Tier in probably a week. Maybe even less than that. I already have one piece, I already have the chest, and I'll essentially be converting this 415 Helm to 415 Mythic Raid Tier. Yeah, it's crazy. The catch-up mechanics that currently exist are crazy. But I will need this Catalyst charge. It is account-wide, which is cool. You can do it on other characters if you have to. I'm 60% of the way through the quest to get my next charge, and I'll show you that quest again, right here. Revival Catalyst quest. Just complete group content anywhere in the Dragon Isles. I've done 3 things, I think, which is why I'm at 60%. You get about 20% per activity. So as soon as I can finish this, I can get this Renescent Lifeblood currency, essentially, and upgrade another piece of this catalyst. So guys, that's the quick explanation of how I just leveled this character from 10 to 70, and I'm already freaking 398 geared. That's it. Forbidden Reach rares, Revival Catalyst, do a couple mythics if you can get into them with your buddies, and you're in really, really good shape to be hitting Dragonflight and the new content running, you know? If you guys have any other questions, just leave a comment down below, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. But yeah, that's how this is done. Thanks for joining me, guys. Catch you later.